being a math major, I was always interested actually in legal. Law and Order was one of my favorite television shows. I love forensic files. So that always piqued my interest. And actually shortly after college, I thought about taking the LSAT, and I did take the LSAT. I just winged it. Did not do well in the reading comprehension section. Did very well in the logic games, but that was about it. And didn't get into law school, which is probably a good thing at the end of the day. And as I was looking for a job, Icon Legal Document Services as a customer support rep. Didn't really know what it was, but at the time we were doing a lot of copies, prints, and then eventually got into imaging. And so it piqued my interest more when we got into scanning and load files. And so I would take barcodes, I would play back in the production area, and I would scan my own set of documents with different barcodes and see what load files would come out of it. I thought they were fun and interesting, and I would go back and play with the barcodes and try to deliver on it. And so that's when I realized that this was a lot more like linear algebra and math, and I could figure this out. So I enjoyed it, and then it got into eDiscovery, and even more so. Right now we talk about validating technologies just to review workflows and statistical analysis. And so all of a sudden that math degree started paying off and helped me understand these concepts. I left the industry and actually got into selling tape for Braun Tapes, but I was in a restoration company doing a cold call, actually talking to one of the owners, taking an order for tape, and thought it was interesting that there was a tape salesperson in their office, and asked what I did prior to selling tape. And I told them about litigation support industry and what I did at Icon and Rico. And they said, wow, that's really amazing. And you sound so passionate about it. Why'd you ever leave? And that started me thinking, you know what? I think it's time for me to go back. eDiscovery was more booming at the time and was of more interest to me. And I've been back ever since. So that was close to 15 years ago.
And that's about the time you ran into David Greetham as well, right?
I did. Yeah. So initial leadership mentor was John Wilkinson, and then David Greetham on the eDiscovery side. And he helped push me to get my ACEDS certification and actually supported it with his budget, paying for it to help me to learn more about eDiscovery, really get that foundational knowledge. I was reading a lot of articles from law firms, legal tech, news, etc. ACEDS really gave me that overall foundational knowledge, and that test was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So yeah. I respect everybody that has the ACEDS certification. It's all about continuous education, and you probably think of a lot of my answers here comes back to curiosity. You have to be curious yourself and push, and if you want to know more knowledge, you have to go get it. It's not just going to be given to you. But he really supported that and then challenged me to do even more. And that's really where the IGP, Information Governance Professional Certification, came into play. He wanted me to do more beyond ACEDS and believed in me for that. So that actually helped me expand my knowledge base as well. Good on David for helping people push themselves and be the best version of themselves and support them.